Sorry about that, everyone. Looks like my connection there dropped out for just a little second, so we're gonna have a little bit of a blip in the video, but it should be up back and up and running right now.
And here I thought Twitch was just playing a Taco Bell commercial for no reason.
Yeah, no.
Green flag out.
Kind of expecting a little bit better start there out of the 81 of Lafleur as he takes that high line. High line has not been the preferred line, so to speak, but Lafleur might make it work as he does a little side drafting there and fighting back for that second spot.
Yeah, I don't think Trent's going to let him have it as we got a car going around behind them.
Well, guys, we talk about it every week, but cautions breeding cautions. We're going to definitely have to see how this starts to play into fuel strategy as these guys get down in the waning laps.
Oh, and Brian Wynn involved in it again. He's taking that car back to the, looks like back to the...
Yeah, it looks like that one was James Haney. I don't know if he made a little bit of contact or if someone made contact with him, kind of upset the car there, and he just kind of went around. Let's see if we can take another look at it. He's got the 954 on the inside. He's got Cowboy. Looks like he's going to be on the outside. Just a little bit of contact there with Cowboy. Maybe a little bit of net code. Kind of upset the car, sent the back end around. And from that point, you're just a passenger. Looks like Buckley was collected in that, blew up the engine, so he's going to be done for the night. And that's unfortunate to see. He did a pretty good job getting back on the lead lap, and that's going to just take him away.
So Wynn's got it in on pit road there. I don't know. I think he's looks like he's got some required repairs there. You got to really hand it to him for sticking it out and letting the crew work on it there. So maybe he can get back out there.
Yeah, I did see the front end kind of settle down a bit, so I'm sure they're working on it. Hopefully it's just body damage. Maybe he can get back out there. We got 43 laps to go. He might be able to turn a couple more.
Yeah, I think it's that radiator that's really hurting him, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would decline an interview right now,
Yeah.
especially from me.
Probably. He doesn't know you picked him
Jamie,
yet.
we were. Well, I didn't say anything, but Brian was mentioning to me earlier as I was down on pit road talking to a couple of these guys for driver intros. He definitely was saying was wondering if Jamie was going with him or not. So he definitely probably has a feeling now.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week, Jamie, you can turn the look around for one of these guys, and we'll hopefully see him in victory lane. But it doesn't look like that's the case tonight.
Look at Josh Buckley.
And
Looks like he's getting repaired as well.
I know Brian Wynn's reached out to me on a couple different races so far. Asked if I was going to pick him, and and I hadn't up to this point. But like I said, I've seen his posts on social media and talking about how he's excited about bringing the new sponsors on, and I seen his performance on Monday night in red light. And he had a real good, strong, I believe it was either a top 5 run, for sure top 10 run. There, so I knew he knew his way around the track and had the speed. I just, and even in this last incident, it wasn't by his doing. He got caught up in somebody else's stuff. So, no fault of his own, but it's a product of racing, and there's a lot of cars out there. So, yeah, hopefully we can get that car fixed, and we'll be able to see him back out on track soon, either in this race or one coming up. But Do we? Oh, I was going to ask a quick question to you guys. With Voice Attack coming on as a sponsor, is there something going out to one of the drivers this evening?
Yeah, the winner of this race will receive a Voice Attack key, courtesy of Voice Attack as well, and they've also put up another key, so the winner of the Pro Series, the winner of the chase at the end of this Pro Series will get a key as well.
So I probably confirmed then that's not going to be Brian Wynn.
It's not going to be Brian Wynn, but he's still got a chance at the Pro Series. He's still got a chance at the championship. You never know.
Yeah, still in it. It's in the running for that. So, and good looking out for from Voice Attack for taking care of these guys. You know, have somebody be able to put Voice Attack in the car and hopefully bring them to victory lane. So.
Yeah, just speaking on Brian a little bit, you know, his season as it's going right now, he's sitting 12th in the points, and he's got 2 top 10s out of 3 races. So, you know, we go here as we go back green. Definitely having some bad luck tonight, not going to pick up that top 10 this time.
All right, boys, let's see if we can keep it on the track here. I know we were talking about cautions being cautions, but I think these guys are going to settle it down. We got 40 laps to go.
Yeah, a guy we ain't talked about much tonight, restarted 7th there, Jeff Fowle. He's been pretty quick all night, started 7th here tonight. Definitely putting the pressure on the 8 of Brent Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Dustin, last night when we were checking out practice, Jeff was in there and he put down some laps, and you know, and he cut out a little bit earlier, and it's not because he didn't want to socialize or anything, but I think he was pretty confident in what he had in the car and as a way around the track. So looks like it might be paying off for him right here.
Yeah, for sure. He's moved up to the 5th spot here, and he's definitely closing in on the 82 of Mike Abbott. As these guys are really fighting hard. They realize, you know, we're about 39 laps to go. That you know, it's going to be, before you know it, these laps are going to be clicked off, and it's going to be go time. So definitely drivers starting to make their moves.
Well, according to the Twitch chat, there it looks like Brian Wynn's got some fans out there. It looks like they know he's fast with a control in his hands, but they may not have the same confidence when it comes to NAVSCAR. So.
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to Brian over a couple races ago, and he was definitely talking about he does a lot of announcing for some of his remote control racing that those guys do, and so we'll have to see if later on in the season we might be able to get him up here in the booth for a couple of races.
Do we have a reporter in the field tonight or not?
We do not have an assigned one.
You should go down there and get some thoughts from maybe from a couple of the racers that might not be in it anymore, but maybe not stirring anything up.
I don't know.
We'll have to see if I can get down pit road and get a word with a couple of their crew chiefs and see what some of the issues are, or even some of these guys, you know, their thoughts over this last 35 lap run here on what their thoughts are going into the last little bit of this race.
You know, I know we were watching the action there between Mike Abbott and Trent Potter, and Trent Potter's all over the back end of that car, and I know what we've seen in the past is when a car is able to pull right on the back end of it, that car will start getting really loose in the corners, especially coming on the exit there. So that's something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on. Is, you know, Trent is not cutting Mike Abbott any slack in regards to the positions and where they run on the track.
No, for sure, and I think that's, you know, us as drivers, we know that when we get on the bumper that you're going to make the guy in front of you really uncomfortable, and it gives you an opportunity to maybe pounce. And you don't want to, you're not looking to get up there and turn them, but you definitely want to get up there, make them loose, maybe make them slide up the track a little bit so you can get on underneath them. But these first 4 guys right here are really in line. They've They got a nice groove going on. We got 33 laps left. I think these guys are starting to think about, you know, can I make a move? When can I make a move? What am I going to have to do to make a move? We got one more pit stop left, but these guys are going to start thinking about it here real soon.
Yeah, for sure. And as we're going over lap leaders here, you know, John Fershing's, you know, not led the most laps here tonight, but he's definitely closing in on that as Trent Potter's led 36. But the way Fershing looks tonight, he's definitely got that thing on a rail at the moment as he's clicking these laps off. Could be your most lap leader, laps led here tonight for sure.
But do they have one more pit to make, though?
They do.
Can't make it away, can they?
No, they
definitely got to make another stop.
I think they're going to stop probably around the 23 mark, 24 mark. I believe they can do it in one more. I think they were in at 47 or so.
Yeah, and these top four have really broken away. I mean, they got their own little pack going there, and if they stay single file, just to click off these laps, I think they're going to, all four of them are going to be in a good spot to make a run for the checkers there.
Yeah, we've definitely seen in the past that 81 be pretty aggressive getting on the pit road. So we'll see if we do stay green here. That last green flag pit stop is going to be key on who's going to win this race.
You don't think that you know, two CRC cars up front there are going to play a little strategy and you know, they could ensure that the 3 and 4 cars, if they start getting a little bit closer, don't get around, or it could make it very difficult to get around. I'm sure they like to see a CRC car in victory lane one way or another.
Yeah, but you know, Dustin was saying it earlier that I think Nate really wants a win here, and I'm not sure there's going to be any team orders, man. I think they're going to really think about themselves here, and right now they are gapping those two guys a little bit, so they might just have enough room coming down to it that they can think about just racing each other, but I don't think they're going to be thinking about keeping those guys behind the two of them.
Yeah, for sure. You've got Nate LaFleur in that 81, and he's hungry anytime he gets a track, as well as most of these guys are. But I definitely see Nate putting the pressure on his dad. Maybe not so much turning him, but he's definitely going to make sure and let him know he's there. And you know, John's a cool character. He's going to hold his own, and he's not going to get rattled easily. So as these laps click off, it's definitely going to be a big factor on who gets on and off pit road here for this last green flag run.
You know, I was just checking on Brian Wynn. He's 17 laps down right now, but you know, I was hoping he'd be able to get the car back out there. Looks like they're still working on it. Looks like they're still working on the 2 of Buckley. So those guys still trying to get the cars repaired and make up any points that they can. Starting to see guys pit now.
That's pitting now. It's going to be close. I think they can probably
we'll see
just do
some
it.
Of these leaders probably stay out just a little longer and stretch it just as far as they can, especially if they think this thing's going to go green the rest of the way.
Now, do you think, you know, let's say John and Nate come in, you think if you're Mike and Trent, you kind of stay out, try and make up some time, or are you going to follow them in?
Well, that's going to be definitely a crew chief's decision, because I tell you what, man, you're going to have these guys, they don't want times to fall off after their guys are putting 4 on, so it's just going to depend on how far these guys can stretch it. They're pretty much on the same schedule here, so we'll definitely have to see how that plays out when they do hit pit road.
Yeah, throwing my 2 cents. You're either going to see all 4 come in, or I think the 2 that go in first are going to be the ones that are out front after the second group of cars pit, because again, well, you know, unless they go with 2 tires, they just go with fuel only or something. But you know, I just see the cars that are pitting first going to be out in the lead after it's all said and done.
You bring up a good point, though. We've seen Mike take 2 tires, and you You think he thinks he can pass him here, or you think he's going to try and take 2 and then, let them try and catch me?
I think he's going to take 2. To be quite honest with you, I don't see him taking 4. He's real competitive now as he's looking, to take over that second spot. So
Trent Potter comes down on his own. Be interesting to see if he takes 2 or 4 here.
Yeah, as we hear it come over the radio, the 15 and the 81 hitting pit road this time as they enter 3. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that Trent Potter. It could be if he gets on and off pit road quick, he could have an advantage as far as having those fresher tires and getting ahead of these guys. So we'll have to see how these things cycle through for sure.
And Mike Abbott does not come with him; he stays out.
It'll be interesting to see what these two do. They could take 2 right here and force Mike on 2 and keep it a level playing field. Right side.
Mike goes around again.
Yeah, for sure, as both of them take 4 tires. But I tell you what, I don't know if you can afford to take 2 there. Maybe some of these guys will, but I tell you what, over a 55, 60 lap run, I definitely don't want to be on just those 2 tires, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Abbott's really stretching this out as we see him get ready to come to pit road here.
Good job getting on pit road there. We didn't talk much about it, but we have Nelson in 922 right behind him on about the same schedule, so we'll see how those two play out.
Nelson's got his right sides. Looks like left sides are going up. And Mike takes 2.
Yeah, 8.8 second stop there for him.
Yeah, that sounded
Yeah,
like something Mike would do.
Yeah, we take a look up front as we got the lap card of Haney there, really holding this little battle up between the top, what's going to cycle through to be the top 3, as Nate LaFleur and John Fershing really got their hands full with a lot of cars and right here around in this pack.
That's going to make it.
We see Trent Potter get loose because of it. Oh, caution's out.
And we got a caution. Tell you what, guys, we got Butch Frazier. I don't know if he cycled into that pit stop right before the caution, but he definitely was ahead of these guys. So we'll have to see how this thing cycles through and if it's going to be an advantage to him or not.
Did anybody see what brought out the caution?
It was Jeff File getting loose, but not a 2, and just loses it as it gets loose on him. So. Looks like Ricky Goodman was involved in that as well.
Yeah, it looks like Rick followed him in when they both got loose off there at the same time.
Again, I think that might have been a good break for Abbott, stretching it there just that little bit longer. He's got those little bit fresher tires. We'll see how the heat cycle works on them as they go this last.
I'm not so sure that's
13 laps.
I'm not so sure Mike wanted to see that, and I'll tell you why. Because he had a pretty good gap between him and second place, assuming that Butch would have to come in. And on 2 tires with 16 laps to go, he might have been able to maintain that gap, but now he's got those guys right behind him on 4 fresh ones. He's on 2, and I don't think it's looking like a good situation for him. We'll see how it goes.
But he's bought his ticket, don't you think? He can't come in. I mean,
No.
if he comes in, he won't ever get it back.
No, he's made his bed. I think the top 4, top 5 people are going to stay out. I think everyone behind them might come in and get 4 fresh ones, just because tires are going to be important here. We've said it, and but I think if you have nothing to gain by coming in, you don't. We'll see how it goes here. Mike does come in. Oh, he stayed out, but it looked like he hit the commitment cone there. That's interesting.
So Raymond Edge has joined us in the booth this evening. How's it going, Raymond?
I'm in the booth. It's been horrible.
Yeah.
Bad, right? So did you go with the new setup, or how was the car this evening?
You know, honestly, it wasn't bad. In the fuel run, holy cow, that thing pushes like a dump truck. But tires just go away so fast at those speeds, it's ridiculous.
Some excessive tire wear then. I mean, that message has been pretty consistent all night. You know, Mike and Dustin and myself, we've been talking about it, how it's going to be playing a factor. And we see it play a factor for the 82 of Mike Abbott right now as, you know, he took two and had to come back in and grab a fresh set of 4 Goodyears.
He didn't actually come in. He didn't come in. He did stay out.
Oh, he did not.
It looked like he hit the commitment cone, and there are 2 cones. One coming off the corner, and then the yellow one, and the orange one in the back. I don't know if that's a commitment cone or not. But he went underneath that orange cone, but then he went out on the yellow cone. So you know, we'll see if NASCAR gives him a penalty here. I don't think they will, but he stayed out.
Guys, just some developing news here is, you know, we had a couple of the guys up front had to stay out since they had just pitted not too long ago. But we had the 987 of Trent Potter, one of those only guys in that top half of the field to come down pit road of those leaders that had just pitted. So we'll have to see if he can battle his way back through this field and keep himself clean for these last 12, 13 laps.
Well, that just shows you how important he thinks 4 tires is.
Exactly. It's definitely going to be fun to watch as these guys go back green. He's not going to be too bad, it looks like here. He's going to be about a row or so behind where he would have been, so didn't lose a lot of position. We got them 4 fresh feel goods, and we'll have to see how this this battle continues here. Actually going to be lined up right behind the 15.
Yeah, and I think that's a good trade-off. As a crew chief, you know, if you can come in, get 4 tires, and only lose 1 spot, 2 spots, like, you're going to do it every time.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely seems like a pretty decent call by those guys. But you know what? This race isn't over, and anything can happen over this next 12-lap run. It looks like we'll go when we go back green here.
What will be interesting is Keith Haney is on the outside there, and I don't think he's going to have fresh tires. I don't see how that would be possible. So we got the front row all on 2 tires. Looks like Nate would be on 4 semi-old tires with John. Like they got a couple laps on those tires, and then Trent on back are going to be fresh. So it's 3 different strategies. It's going to be interesting.
These guys definitely got to be careful here on this on the top side here to make sure they're not too aggressive and they're not running over each other. It definitely gets wild here near the end, that's for sure.
Yeah, pace car's off as we get ready to go back to green. Both Abbott and Keith Haney get a real good start there. LaFleur looked like he was struggling a little bit, but he might be able to make that work for him as they go into the low line on 2.
LaFleur gets into the 82 of Mike Abbott, and looks like he almost collected the 987 there. That's going to be tough. Caution's out. We'll have to see how this plays out here.
I tell you what, guys, it is so hard getting down into turn 1 side by side. Car pushes up the track. There's hardly any grip whatsoever. So yeah, it's definitely a racing deal this late in the race.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about it. That car just pushed, and yeah, Mike thought he had the room, and Nate pushed out into it, and it just turned him around. It's unfortunate for the 930 to get collected in that. Mike almost saved it on the shoulder, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be.
You hearing anything on the radio there, Dustin? What the drivers are saying about that last one?
Definitely 81 getting in the corner there, pushed up a little bit as Raymond spoke on. It's so hard getting into one, and the car just wants to take off on you. But, definitely a racing deal. 81 definitely didn't mean that. So tough break for the 82. They're racing hard on 2 tires and trying to hold his own. But 81 and 15 were fast, so they were definitely coming. Just unfortunate deal there.
All right, with the last break in the action, let's take a look at our website. Just a reminder, if you're interested in what you see here, you want to become a part of it, you can hit us up, www.navscar.com. All of our information, our application, and information on how to get in contact with us. If you have any questions or if you want to run with us, check us out. We are still taking applications on drivers. You can join the league mid-season up until we start the chase. Once we start the chase, we do stop taking in new drivers, but we're always looking for like-minded drivers to come participate with us. And don't forget our sister league, redlightleague.com. They race Monday nights. Same kind of feel. They don't broadcast this season, but a bunch of like-minded guys looking just to have some fun. So check us out. We do have a couple other things that go on. We do open practice on Tuesday. Always practicing for the next night's race. Those are open, so you can come on in. You don't have to be a part of the league. There's no license requirements on our practice sessions. So if you want to come check out the guys, you can find us under the hosted session of iRacing, and you'll find that under our NAVSCAR practice sessions. And we do run a Sunday night series as well, just for fun, between the two leagues. It is closed to those two leagues, but it could be a lot of fun. So check us out, www.navscar.com or www.redlightleague.com for more information.
Wow, for somebody who's been on vacation, you're still pretty good at that, Mike.
Yeah, it's like like riding a bike. You shouldn't see me ride a bike.
You know, Dustin, we need to give him one of those microphones that they used at The Price is Right. I think he'd be perfect with one of those.
The Bob Barker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to see him ride a bicycle, so I'm glad you made that point.
Hey, I'm pretty good at a bicycle too, so jack of all trades, my friend.
Training wheels.
I got those pink streamers on the side too. Awesome stuff.
The little bell.
And I got the clicker in the spokes.
There you go.
Tell you what, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of feeling excited about this restart. It's going to be with about 6 laps to go, it looks like, and as we're probably going to get the one to go here. 81 to 15, the 987, the 954 of Keith Haney. And we ain't talked about him much tonight, but in 5th we got Butch Frazier. Definitely going to make himself known here. He can hold on and get him a good top 5, if not top 10 position. Be a good night for him. So it's going to be an exciting restart for sure.
So I missed it while I was taking the car back to the garage. Did the guys come in and get fuel, or are they trying to run on that last one?
A lot of the leaders didn't come back down. The caution we had just recently ago, a couple of guys did, but with these caution laps, they definitely probably got enough to make it that extra little bit. So keep an eye on that as well. So good observation there, Raymond.
Hey, I just got back from the booth, or just got back from the booth. I just got back from pit road, and had a chance to talk to a couple of the drivers down there. Talk to, the 2 car with Josh Buckley, and talk to the 900 of Brian Wynn, and a couple of the other drivers. It looks like those guys got significant damage. Both of them have anywhere from 17 minutes of required repairs to 9. So there's with 7 to go. I don't think we're going to see them back out on the track, but. Tough break for those guys tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to see them come out next week and have a better finish.
And with that, looks like the pace car is going to drop in. We got 7 laps to go. Should be a quick little shootout here. Hopefully we don't see another caution. We can finish this thing under green.
It's going to be interesting with father and son.
Yeah, Whopper Jr. is going to try to hold off Whopper Sr. We're going to see how this works.
Junior got a nice run there, yeah.
Nate's hungry, I know that.
Let's see if he tags that outside wall. He was really aware of it in practice.
Oh, the 555 gets into the Haney, I believe. Haney's able to keep it on the track.
Tell you what, the 555 of Butch Fraser fighting hard there for that 4th spot with James Skelton. He's had a really good run here tonight.
Yeah, he's using every part of that track, trying to force the issue here. Make
Caution
sure.
out.
That might be it, boys.
Tim Lewis involved in that.
See if we can take a look at the replay here. Tim Lewis looks like he just gets on that corner of the 924 car of Chris Sharp. Just sends him around a little bit and ends up ending both their nights, I think. Again, that just comes down to racing real hard with 4 to go and working every position you can. And these cars get upset real easily when you touch a quarter or when you take any weight off that back tire. It spins them around.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
That
tough
corner is. Go ahead, Destin.
I'm gonna say, you got the 81 up front. As we look up front, all 3 of those guys that finishing were fighting hard for this win tonight, and so the 81's gonna bring it home. But tough break for that 987. He was hungry and definitely fighting to look to the outside there in those closing laps.
Yeah, I never like seeing it finish under yellow. I think it was a pretty good race overall. It's good to be back, I'll tell you though. 4 weeks away was a long time to not be in the booth and watch these races. You guys, all these drivers do such a great job, make it really entertaining. Looking forward to finishing off the season and what else might come from NAVSCAR. So, good job from everybody involved.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is going to be 5 races, 5 different race winners?
Yeah, I believe
No,
Make it right.
sir.
you are correct. Assuming we don't get one more, I don't think we're going to get one lap here.
Guys, just to let you know, Nate LaFleur has already had 1 win this season, so
Oh, does he?
will be a repeat,
Okay.
first repeat winner of 2015 here.
I bet Trent's happy I didn't pick him again.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Mike Fair.
Yeah, I know,
did a
right?
Good job this year. He showed up this time, and actually, he earned one, I guess you'd say, this time. And good job by him and his crew. So, eked me out again. So we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out if we can get one of these guys up ahead of him and pick up some points.
I'll be waiting for the check at the end of the season, guys. We did talk about prize money, right? For the Battle of the Booth?
Sure,
Well,
take whatever you want. Man.
Yeah.
Let me know how that waiting goes.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you another thing. One person, as of right now, that we don't have to worry about, Mike, is going to be the Jamie Christensen. So we'll have to see how that develops as the year goes on.
Oh, man, there was no love in that one.
No, there's not. But, the curse continues, if you want to call it that. And, these guys, they get really kind of superstitious about that stuff. They take it kind of serious. After
Dude,
a while.
man, it's not like I would normally say it's full of crap, but it seems like everybody you pick finishes in the garage, man.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think... I think I've had one race where the driver was able to finish the race, but they were definitely... all of them were involved in an incident, so...
Yeah, I think that was the week you picked Josh, wasn't it?
No, because Josh actually, the week I picked Josh, I believe was Martinsville, and he wrecked with Calvin Ellison there on
But
the
he
very
was
last
lucky.
lap.
That's right.
That he finished up
Yeah,
front.
he did
Otherwise,
finish.
he'd finished out the back.
Yes.
So we got to count that as a score right there, Jamie.
All right, I'll take him where I can get him. So.
And this looks like this is going to bring them to the checker. We're going to have our official race results here, and we'll have a chat with our top 3 drivers.
Yeah, I want to hear about that Whopper Jr. story. So where are we going next week, Mike?
Well, let me take a look. Next week we are racing at Phoenix for the Lucas Oil 150. Phoenix, man, that's an interesting track. You got the dog leg. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, that's always an interesting track. It's very flat. A lot of some drivers like it, some drivers definitely do not. I know it's I could be over speaking here, but I think that's one of Dustin's favorite tracks. He does very well there. I know he's had some success not only in our league racing at that track, but also just in the regular iRacing series. So
It's definitely an interesting track. You can't really compare it to a Pocono, but it's got definitely some distinct turns with that dog leg. It almost makes it a triangle, if you would. So definitely, we'll see guys use the apron through there and on the track. So there'll be guys everywhere, and definitely going to be. I think it's going to be a key race we hadn't talked about much this season, and that could be one that we definitely see some guys that do pretty well there. Maybe get that be that fifth different winner this year.
Well, with that, we
One
got.
thing about.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say with that we should get Nate LaFleur in here. But hey, finish your thought, man.
I was going to say the one thing about Phoenix is it's really tight going into one. The whole key to Phoenix most of the time is getting off it. All the people down the back stretch into 3 and just jamming in there and pray it sticks.
Yeah, I agree. And there's so many lines you can make. It's always a fun race to watch, and it's a fun race to race. So we'll see what next week has to hold. Let's get Nate LaFleur down here and Whopper Jr., as they say, and see what he thinks about his race. Whopper Jr., buddy, congratulations, man, tearing it up there. Good to see you up front. You were my pick this week, so thanks for coming through.
Yeah, it was a really fun race all around. I had a good time tonight. Just want to say sorry to Mike Abbott there. I just didn't turn into the corner, as fast as I had been, and I think I was kind of holding my lane. I might have moved up a little bit, and he was still expecting me to be turning into the corner, and we met in the middle, and feel really bad about that. But other than that, it was a really good night. I had a lot of fun.
So I got to ask, you got that Whopper Jr. over your door there. Can you tell us a little background on that?
Yeah, it's kind of a nickname that was given to me. My dad's nickname is Whopper, Johnny Whopper. It's comes from where he works at CRC, where we race RC cars. I guess when I was real young, he had some coupon or something where he got buy one get one free Whoppers every day for a year or something ridiculous like that. And at lunch, on his lunch break every day at work, he had Whoppers, and slowly started being called Whopper by everyone on the planet that races RC cars. And once I was old enough to start racing, it just was called Whopper Jr.
That's a great story.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, yeah, congratulations on the win. It is your second win of the season, correct?
Yep. I won the second week. I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
Well, you're in the chase, so we'll see how it goes for you. Pocono. In Phoenix next week. What do you think about that one?
I like Phoenix. Phoenix is a really fun track. I don't tend to run the absolute greatest there, but I have a good time. It's a fun little track. I definitely like that it doesn't have a lot of banking, so it takes a lot of patience to let the car do its thing and not overdrive.
Cool. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just I did have one question for him in regards to the race tonight, specifically about the exiting in the corners. I know in practice yesterday, Nate, we seen you several times into the outside or into the wall there coming out of 2. And I was kind of wondering if you could just take a second to say what you did to the car. I mean, what was your strategy going in knowing that you had a little bit of trouble in the practice?
Yeah, I told you to keep an eye out for me waxing that wall, but I managed to stay off it tonight. I just I don't know, I was just trying to go too fast in practice. Once I got behind other cars on green flag runs, it helped me pace myself a lot better, and I got back into running what I normally run at most tracks, the wide entry and late apex, and it really helps you come off the corner straight and fast, and it was pretty useful at the end of long runs when the thing wasn't steering that good. You just lift really early and you just power off the corner. It worked out pretty good, and luckily I didn't come in contact with that wall, or else I would have had a much different turnout to my race tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Dustin, Raymond, you got anything for the race winner this evening?
Just congratulations, man. Second time winner this season. Did a good job tonight. And you know, looking forward to next week and seeing how you end up next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, me too. It's a fun track. See you guys there.
Thanks again, Nate. We'll talk to you next week. All right, let's bring down second place. We got Trent Potter. Trent, buddy, good showing this week. Second place finish, always respectable. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with second place finish. I thought I had a little more for Nate there at the end, but I just couldn't get it done. I was a lot better early in the race, and when the track rubbered up, I kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, Trent. Just want to say that you were my pick tonight, and definitely we were watching lap times. You were pretty much fast all night, and one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest. You know, you got that late caution there. I saw you look to the outside right as the caution came out. Definitely looked like you were going to try to make a power move around the outside, and definitely thought you could have done it. What's your thoughts in them closing laps and seeing that caution come out?
Yeah, I think the second caution before that, I was kind of in the back, so I just pitted and got fresh tires, so I thought that helped me. And then on that last restart, I knew I had to try to make it quick because I thought there might be another caution to end the race, and I was trying to work up a run off of 4, either get inside or out of outside, whichever I could make work.
So I got to ask you real quick, Trent. You know, I had picked you in the past, and you had connection issues. Have you been able to get all the equipment set up and squared away?
Yeah, I think I got that for the most part fixed. I know I'll be moving here soon, and it should be no problem once I move. But I try to make sure everything's working right when the race starts.
Well, that'll be good. Maybe I'll pick you next time then.
I was going to say we could test it out, make sure it's all good. Just, Jamie, you pick him again, and we'll know if there's anything wrong.
Yeah, I didn't fare so well the last time.
Well, congratulations on second place. Is there anybody you want to shout out to?
I don't think there's anybody really. I apologize to Mike Abbott. I got into him a little bit early in the race and probably ruined his night a little bit.
Well, first and second both apologize to Mike Abbott. He got the bad end of the stick tonight. We always appreciate our drivers saying sorry when they think they wreck someone. So definitely respect you for that. Congratulations again on second place, and we'll see you next week, man.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
And last but not least, third place, we got Johnny Whopper himself, buddy. Tell us about your race, man.
Oh, it was awesome. I was, man, I wanted to win that one so bad. Thought I'd been getting good restarts all night, and that last one, I don't know, I didn't feel like I fell asleep on it. I thought I hit it when the green came out, but those guys just did a better job, and that was the end of that. Down to third I went.
Yeah, I noticed. Oh, go ahead, John.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead.
No, I just noticed, you know, when we put the cameras in car on you there in the corners, we seen you playing around with the steering wheel a little bit. I mean, it wasn't just a gradual turn in there. It looked like you were fighting it a little bit. I mean, was the car the way you wanted it, or would have preferred to have a little bit more time to change the steering ratio or something, or how was it?
Oh, it felt really good. Yeah, I just make a lot of little movements with the wheel and with the throttle, and just really trying to save tires and, you know, really pay attention to the noise the tires are making and how much I feel in the force feedback, and just not trying to, you know, plow the right front. I was really trying to use as little as possible, and I think on the long runs there I was doing good. You know, Trent early in the race when he was leading and I was running second, he, you know, on a restart he would drive away from me a little bit, and I think I'd close up a little bit towards the end of the run, and never got a chance to make a move because the caution would come out and we'd pit under caution, which is fine with me because I'm not too good at those green flag pit stops anyway. But I think I was doing good on the long run and saving tires, and I was looking forward to that going green at the end.
Yeah, for sure. John, good race, man. You know, we were speaking earlier about little Whopper Jr. If he had the opportunity to turn you, if he would. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think little Whopper would do if it came down to you and him at the end?
I don't think he'd do it purposely. I know he feels terrible. He apologized a bunch of times to Mike Abbott, and but you know, getting down there close to the end and you're pushing really hard. I know early in the race I went into 3, I entered low, and it pushed real bad on me. I thought I was gonna get into Mike myself once, and I got on the brakes. So, you know, in the heat of the moment, I don't think he's gonna lift for me. So, but I don't think he would never do anything like that on purpose.
Well, John, it was an entertaining race from up in the booth. It's good to be back, man. I'm excited to see what you guys can put together for the next 7 or so races, and thanks again for coming out and all the stuff you do for the league. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Glad to have you back. Can't wait to watch the broadcast. Having all 3 of you guys in there, you work, you know, awesome together, and I really enjoy watching the broadcasts and everything you guys do. So we'll see you soon.
And with that, Mike Fair, Jamie Christensen, and Dustin Phillips signing off. We'll see you guys next week in Phoenix for our next race. Thanks for coming out, guys, and see you next week.